I'm doing something very nasty this week.
Oh. All right, it is week 7 of Respect Your Elders, the halfway point of the season for us. Going to be getting those halftime speeches, adjustments, all those things going on, especially this year because it has been so unpredictable.
Yeah, we're in the upside down right now. It's crazy.
I mean, at this time, I think it's if you're gonna tank, now's the time to start driving that tank, Jacob. So
I forgot what I was going to say, to be honest. All right, so moving on to last week's games, we're going to start with me versus Garrett. Well, he did it, guys. He beat all three of us back to back weeks. I unfortunately was out camping and did not catch your warning bow. Because of that, I had to go against the top scorer this week, and that's annoying. I feel like all his players scored 30 points. And players that shouldn't have either. George Pickens. He hasn't done that in a long time. I'm sad.
I do want to say,
right, so
Pickens scored 30 points 2 weeks ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, but moving on to your guys' game. Kev, you're with me right now. We can't figure out what to do with our team. Bo takes the second highest score this week, merely less than 0.15 than Garrett did.
yeah, it was just one of those weeks where literally everyone sucked. Bo had to go rub it in and get the second highest score. So I mean, he didn't have to do that, but whatever.
Hey, I was trying to. Garrett was about to do the 3 in a row, and I was like, all right, I can't let him get the top score too. But I did, so I didn't stop that either. So it was all for naught.
Anywho, then we'll go into a game that wasn't a blowout. After the 2 blowouts that we just talked about, we had the Chris and Aaron game. Going into it, they were tied 6-6 all time, and it was another close game. I mean, it was a 2-point spread. Chris is still trying to claw his way out from the bottom. Aaron finally seems to be putting it together. He's back-to-back top 3 scores since Miller talked trash. Top 3 score, but there's a pretty big gap between two 140s and then him at 111. Miller, what the hell? Why do you keep trash talking Aaron and then he turns it around and starts winning? And what do you got to do for my team to get that equation? Because please do that.
Also, I just realized Chris, similar to Garrett having the back-to-back wins against the Elders, Chris has the back-to-back losses against the Prices.
Nice.
You're welcome, Chris.
That's fun. You're welcome, Chris. Well, lucky for him, there's no more.
Yeah, true. That was for Colt. We got you, Colt. There. Speaking of Colt versus Chase, another top versus bottom, another top falls. Bottoms, thanks to Chase, up to 9-1 against the tops. Jacob, it's looking very obvious that you are the only one that has lost against the top.
Yeah. My team sucks.
I did want to point out Colt bought the Etsy Witch for his preheat, go against the Monday Night Magic that Chase always has, and it was close. I mean, Colt, after his last player on the Bills, he was 1 point ahead. So close, and then DeAndre Swift scored a 55-yard receiving touchdown, pretty much sealed the deal for Chase there. Also took the median from Jacob on that play, so just a huge swing for Chase. Also, game of the week, dug Alex out from what seemed like he was going back to the norm. He was in like 64 points, projected like 66 for the night. Miller was up at 82, probably feeling good, gonna go to sleep soon. Alex has Swift. That put him up to 80 points, 2 points behind.
Fumble happens. The Bears get the ball back. Mir's dreams die.
That does put Alex, gives him his only winning record all time against any team is Miller. Incredible work, Alex. Great season start. And Miller, I cannot believe you have a losing record against Alex. That's hilarious.
That's embarrassing for sure for Miller. Also, congrats, Alex. That's awesome. And the fact that like you were able to turn it around, and we're in year 8 now, I think, of Dynasty. So I mean, it's not like you can flip flop back and forth. Like you've been down a pretty far way in most of these head to heads, and you clawed it back against somebody. So that's pretty sick and hilarious that it's Miller.
Hey, loser. How's losing going? Losing to me more than I've been losing to you. How's that feel? Idiot, stupid idiot. I suck. Okay, my team sucks. And you lose to the guy who sucks? Really? Really? You lose to the guy who sucks? You lose. The guy who sucks, you lose to him? Wow, bro. I'm never, ever, 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 ever losing a fantasy football game again. Especially not against you. Okay, right. So there's like there's a team in the league that sucks. Like his team has sucked forever, and they suck. He sucks at the fantasy football, but you lose to him. You lose to the guy who in the league sucks at the league at the football, but you lose to that. You lose to him. Holy shit, dude. That's embarrassing. I know I would be embarrassed if I lost to the guy who sucked. You'll never, ever beat me again more than I beat you. Never. My player choices, too impeccable. My game time decisions, immaculate. Wow, LOL, Fortnite dance, L on forehead, Fortnite dance, tongue out, tongue out. Na 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 na. Teabag, L on forehead, Fortnite dance. You suck.
If we take a look at the standings, we didn't have 9 people move, but we still had half of the league move this week. 3-way ties at the top, the middle, and the bottom. Me, Chase, and Garrett in a 3-way. That's 2 bottoms teams. Also the 2 rebuilds just coming in to take over. Miller, only one not in a 3-way. Unfortunate Miller. Sorry about that. Aaron, Colt, and Alex. Aaron, thanks Miller. Colt hasn't grilled since week 1, and is Alex in there fighting in the middle. The bottom 3-way, Kevin, Jacob, and Chris, 2 of the 2-time champs.
If anybody knows about 2 in this league, it's me. Finished second place or second to last, and that's where I am again.
Miller now has less points against than Garrett. Has he taken the well, I mean, Garrett scored the top score, so he has shifted his strategy from the defense to be like, wait, should I just score 140 points?
All right, guys, I got a really good drink for you guys this week. It's a homemade coffee cake. This is made by my wonderful girlfriend, Angie. I don't know if you know this, but she pretended to be me.
Let's give it a sniff test. Nice crack.
That was not actually us. So here I am. I'm trying a homemade coffee cake that she made. Let's see how it is. I'm the tune for Wawa. That's very good though. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Whew. I need some water.
Week 7. This week, we have another tops versus bottoms week. We all remember last time, the bottom sweep. This week, every tops team has a winning record all time versus the bottoms team they're playing. So, but the bottoms are 9-1 this season, so I don't know.
Also, looking at it as of recording this, every tops team is projected to win.
So we're probably all going to lose.
Yeah. I mean, projections, amount to a hill of beans, but as of right now.
Is that a saying?
Did you just come up with that one?
You guys not heard that?
Never once in my life.
All right, well, I guess we can kick it off with another Elders matchup, which is weird that that's happened back to back. But yeah, this time it's going to be me and Jake. So the roommate battle, the rivals, the lovers. We're both tied for last right now. One of us is going up. I do hold the slight edge all time, 8-5. High scoring games for us, 125 to 120 normally. Jacob, you won the last matchup, but I did win the previous 4 before that. Yeah, how we feeling about it, Jake?
I think I have a good chance. Let's see, actually, how many weeks in a row have I beaten you head to head if we played? 1 week in a row. 1 week in a row I've beaten you head to head if we played. So honestly, it's a toss up, but most likely with the bottoms versus tops record, I'm probably going to lose because I'm the only one bottoms that's lost so far. So
the top that you did lose to was Bo, right? That was
that's true.
So it would be funny if the 2 tops that you would lose to would just be me and Bo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to hope that some of my players actually do good this week besides McCaffrey. You're actually starting the entire AJ Brown trade right now. Stevenson, Evan Ingram, Chris Olave,
And Brian Thomas.
which was the pick that I sent over. We'll see how that pans out, but that's kind of funny that you're starting that whole trade this
It
week.
is. Moving on to our next tops versus bottom matchup, we got Bo versus Chase. All-time record, Bo's 5 wins to Chase's 2, 127 to 106. However, Chase did win the last matchup. And we all know the bottoms is kind of dominating the tops right now. Let's keep it together. Let's do it again.
It was already unfortunate for me that Mike Evans was coming back and Ibuka's out. Mike Evans plays on Monday night too.
You're screwed.
He's about to get 4 touchdowns.
You and Chase are tied for first. Chase's team is kind of scary. A little bad luck so far, at least through the Thursday night games. But we all know Chase does his work on Mondays, not Thursdays.
Chris versus Alex. Chris is 6-2 all time against Alex, 103-85. 103 is very low for Chris average through 8 games. Also, seeming like they had a little bit of a Freaky Friday incident because Chris is dead last. Alex is tied for 5th, has only won on even weeks so far. Maybe that's good news for Chris since it's week 7. But Chris's only head-to-head win was against Colt for his 13th win. Against Colt.
Yeah, Chris is having the unlucky season of he does have the highest points against at 124. Pretty hefty points against, to be fair. Like, that's tough. But obviously, if you're only averaging 104, that's not very good.
I will say one positive for Chris. Patrick Mahomes is looking good again.
Yep. And he gets Rashee Rice back this week.
Then Mahomes gets him and Chris gets him.
Yeah, they both get him.
Super weird seeing Chris at the bottom of the standings. I don't know if he's ever been at the bottom, even for like a week. It doesn't feel like he would have been.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely probably not. Me and Jacob have been down here before, though, so nothing new there.
Yeah.
We're not here very well, Jacob spent like all of last year here, but
Yeah.
This is cozy for me right now.
Yeah.
Jacob's gotten a little too cozy.
Yeah, very Kobe over here right now. It's kind of chill. All right, for our next tops versus bottom matchup, we got one player who has been dying for a win since week 1. He has lost all his head-to-head matches, but with 3 median wins. So it's been a little bit of bad luck for Colt. And then the other player we got is coming off the bottom score last week, and also in devastating fashion, last-minute loss, and just ripped
Who's
out
that lost to?
underneath him. Alex. So we got Colt versus Mir with the all-time record of 7-3 in Colt's favor. However, Mir is averaging 1 more point than Colt. I think Colt's due. We've had, honestly, a very terrible grilling season so far this year. It's been very dry.
Yeah, but I mean, we all know who his favorite person to grill is, and it's Miller. Miller was tied, or is still tied, for the most grills. So Miller could take sole possession of first place. I think we would all benefit from it. You know, morale around the league would go up if if Colt could get this grill. I know that felt like a dig at you, Colt, by saying Chris's name anywhere near your name, but that was just an accident. It had nothing to do with the 13 win streak or anything like that.
I know Miller would love to follow up a bottom score loss to Alex to get a losing record against Alex with being grilled by Colt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're all in agreement. That's what we all want. Miller, if you could make sure that happens. Colt, don't fuck this up. That'd be great.
All right, the last game of the week. The game of the week is between the hottest teams.
I don't like that. You said game of the week too much in the first 2 sentences. Try it again.
All right, the last game of the week for week 7's games of the week is going to be the game of the week. Anyways, I think that both of these teams have been a part of a game of the week already this season, so this is going to be another game of the week for them. Aaron and Garrett in the game of the week. They're the 2 hottest teams. Aaron 4-0 since Miller trash talked him. Garrett 8-0 since week 3.
That's crazy.
Also, Aaron, sorry. Very sorry. Aaron up 5 spots since Miller trash talked him, and Garrett's tied for first. So, I mean, these two are just on fire right now.
Yeah.
all time, Aaron is 4-2 against Garrett, 113-97. But
Yeah, sounds like a pretty good game of the week matchup. Honestly, if they weren't doing this great, they probably wouldn't be game of the week. But because of the fact that they're doing great, it is game of the week, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to talk about the game of the week anymore. I think it's pretty much been covered at this point. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about these two teams earlier this year. They're the ones that leave the most points on the table. So they're not doing that. They move up the standings. Garrett going 8-0, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it's hard to go win 2 weeks in a row, but to do it 4 weeks in a row and beat the median each time, that's pretty crazy. So that's good stuff. You love to see it.
One thing I do want to bring up about Garrett's team, in the past, he's had trouble starting the right quarterback. Well, he found a solution to that. It's having his quarterback score 27, 26, 29, and 36. Like that's your solution. Is have them all score well.
not only has he done the 4 weeks in a row winning and 4 weeks in a row beating the median, he is still averaging leaving 46 points on his bench every week. I don't like that at all. The fact that you're 8-0 in the last 4 weeks, tied for first, and you're leaving 46 points a week on your bench is terrifying. And you beat all three of us 3 weeks in a row. This is just feeling real bad. But yeah, Aaron, I don't know what the relationship is like from Aaron's perspective of Miller. Like, does he love it? And he's like, yeah, that gets me going. Yell at me more.
That's fun to think about.
That'll pretty much do it for this week. Again, this is tops versus bottoms. So, tops, can we please?
He
turned your mic
muted
off.
his mic. That's fate, man.
Can you guys hear me?
Hello. Yes.
You're back.
Can we please get it together on the top? And, well, as the tops, I won't say on the top, because if you look at the standings, we're not all there. We need to reverse sweep this. We're 1-9 against them. Let's just sweep them this time. We'll still be losing for the year, but we'll be closer.
You know how I feel right now? I can cheer on the bottoms as a fellow bottom. I feel like a backup kicker on a team now. I'm just like, I am not the reason we are doing this good. But I'm just like, yeah! Woo! Go bottoms! That's me right now. So
Okay, so we're diving deep
Oh,
today
you can
into,
join and talk to it?
Yeah, but
your
look,
Dynasty
watch what it
Fantasy
does.
Football League.
All right.
Whoa, did someone just break the fourth wall? Let's hear it.
Hey, can you tell me about Colt and Miller and their dynamic together?
Hey, that's a great question.
We love it when you chime in,
Colt and Mir have a really interesting history.
Mir.
especially because Mir had that unique re-entry into the league.
Yeah, remember how one manager was kicked out for being a garbage human?
Oh, wow, the garbage human incident.
Exactly.